Aloha everyone, and welcome back to the Kilauea Eruption and Leilani Estates update for August 6, 2018. In tonight's update, I am very happy to report that we pretty much have the same as we did yesterday to report, and that is the only changes in this case is less of what we were having before. So we'll get into the report. I just want to welcome some new subscribers and remind everyone else to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button and hit the bell icon for notifications of new videos. I'm going to continue doing these updates as long as there is any issue going on with the Kilauea eruption and the lower East Rift Zone Fissure 8 situation. But so let's just get to the report, and we'll talk more about those things and some other things I want to share with y'all. The USGS reports for Monday, August 6, 2018 at 12:49 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time that activity and lava output from Fissure 8 remains low. This morning's overflight crew saw a weak to moderate active bubbling lava lake within the Fissure 8 cone, a weak gas plume, and a completely crusted lava channel. Later in the morning, ground crews found the upper channel largely devoid of lava, confirming that the channel is empty to at least the vicinity of Kapoho crater, where a short section of spiny active lava in a channel was present. There were small active ooze-outs near the coast of the Kapoho Bay and Ahalanui lobes, but the lay's plume was greatly diminished. Active lava is close to the Pohoiki boat ramp, but has not advanced significantly towards it. The significance of this change is not yet clear, and hazardous conditions remain in the area. HVO field crews and the UAS team will monitor activity throughout the day and overnight. It is common for eruptions to wax and wane or pause completely. A return to high levels of lava discharge or new outbreaks in the area of active fissures could occur at any time. Residents should remain informed and heed Hawaii County Civil Defense messages and warnings. Moving over to the Kilauea Middle East Rift Zone, on Friday, gas measurements of Pu'u'o plume indicated an emission rate of over 1,000 tons per day of SO2, the highest rate from this vent in several years. Readers may recall that a white plume has been observed issuing from Pu'u'o over the past several weeks. From this morning's overflight, observers confirmed that the increased gas and steam are coming from the crater, but that temperatures do not seem significantly higher than on previous visits, and no active lava was observed. Up on the Kilauea Volcano Summit, the volcano summit remains quiet following the most recent collapse event 4 days ago, 11:55 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time on August 4th. This continues a significant departure from the pattern of seismicity and deformation over the past several months. With very low rates of seismicity continuing today. The deformation of the summit, as measured by tiltmeter and GPS instruments, has virtually stopped. Summit and lower East Rift Zone changes considered together imply that the rate of magma leaving the summit to feed the lower East Rift Zone eruption has decreased. How long this condition will persist is unknown. It is possible that the outflow will pick up again, resulting in renewed summit area deflation, leading to another collapse event and renewed eruption vigor on the lower East Rift Zone. HVO will continue to monitor Kilauea closely for any signs of changes in activity, and the next status report will be issued tomorrow morning unless significant changes occur. And once again, there has been no report on the Highway 130 just south of Leilani, so I will logically assume that means there has been no changes in crack width, temperature, or gas emissions. And finally, the EPA Air Monitoring Sensor Report. Currently looking at the air monitoring report everything looks pretty good, as we would kind of expect it to be with the lower output from Fissure 8, fume-wise that is. So moving over to the Pahoa Community Sensor, we are reading 0.0 parts per million for SO2 at 3:47 p.m. and 0.0 parts per million for the H2S. Sliding over to Nativali Estates, again at 3:48 p.m., we see 0.0 parts per million for the SO2. Moving quickly down to Leilani Estates, home of Fissure 8, we are looking at 3:51 p.m. at SO2 levels of 0.0982 and parts per million. We are also seeing 0.0 parts per million for H2S. Interesting. The output is down, and we have a little bit of a sensor reading. Not sure what that means, so we'll just keep going. And going down to our last sensor in the report at Kalapana Seaview Estates, at 3:48 p.m., we were reading SO2 at 0.0 parts per million and H2S at 0.0 parts per million as well. And that'll pretty much wrap it up for the USGS report for today. However, before we continue, a quick little disclosure. Everything in the video from this point forward is going to be my opinion based on the facts, the research, and all the information and things that I've learned throughout this whole event. Just want to make that very clear, that this is not based on any particular official information or whatever. This is my opinion and extrapolation of the facts and the understanding of how the fundamentals and forces behind this eruption have been functioning. So instead of look at that there, tonight we're going to do a new little game, I guess, if you want to call it that, is someone asked me instead. And what I mean by that is that someone asked me yesterday one simple little question. What does this extreme decrease in activity at Fissure 8 really mean? So I thought I would maybe address that with y'all as well. I've already told them my opinion, and I thought maybe I would share that with y'all. So for me to get to that answer to the question, first I've got to share with you my opinion of the mechanics and the plumbing of the Kilauea Volcano, and kind of how this whole process works. Well, in this particular case with the rift zone eruption. So first, what I want you to do is think of one of the gallon milk jugs, the plastic ones. I know everybody in America pretty much knows what those are. I don't know if the container, are the same, elsewhere in the world. But a plastic jug about a gallon size with a cappable, with a lid to cap it. Okay, so fill it up with water, and we're going to say that the jug represents the reservoir at the Kilauea summit, and the water is going to represent the magma. Okay, so put the cap on the jug and lay the jug down on its side. Now, get a bowling ball and set it on top of the jug, on the side, because you've turned it on its side. So set it on there. That bowling ball is going to represent the weight, of all the surface material sitting on top of the reservoir. Now, to simulate an earthquake that opened up the rift zone, all you got to do is take the cap off the jug. And what's going to happen is gravity, of course, is going to be pulling the water out of the jug. And the bowling ball is applying pressure to the top, causing the jug to collapse, which represents the summit collapse. And the water comes rushing out of the opening in the jug. So then, at some point, though, the bowling ball gets to a point where the rest of the surface, around the edges of the jug are capable of supporting its weight, which helps eliminate the pressure of its own, mass, down on the water. Plus, the water's reached a level in the jug now that it, on its own force of gravity, can't flow out of the jug because it's, there just below the level of the spout. So the question is, if that's the mechanics, then fissure 8 is a product of one of two things. The decrease in the activity in fissure 8 would be a product of possibly just one of two factors. And that being that, one, either the reservoir has gotten to a point that until it refills, it won't flow through the rift zone, which is, so we basically just see, the lava sitting there now. There's no pressure pushing it down and through, which means the gravity force, or variable on it has been reduced to 0 or something like that, whatever the math is. And the pressure from the magma itself and all the weight of the land on top of it, etc., isn't pushing it through anymore. Or two, something clogged the opening to the jug. Something put the cap back on, or put a plug in it, or there's something. So that's the question, and that's what I believe is the story with fissure 8 right now. And either we're at one of those 2 points, we've hit a point of equilibrium, with the forces behind the magma, or two, something clogged the system. So how do we know which is which? If something clogged the system, we should start seeing pressure build up and deformation of the land, inflation of areas and things like that, etc. So earthquakes is one thing we have to look at. So will it pop up somewhere else? I don't know. Possible, yes. Could fissure 8 begin to erupt again? Yes. If it's clogging the system, and the pressure and all that is still behind it, it is likely that it's going to pop up somewhere else. Or the clog can clear itself and things, will reestablish. So we'll have to wait to see about that. But that's basically my opinion on all of it, and kind of how, a simple little concept of, the dynamics at play that we're making this all, take place. So some people may agree with me, some people may disagree with me, and that's okay. I'm just trying to figure it out myself and share those ideas and thoughts. Because, if I'm wrong about something, then, that's the way I learn. Simple as that. Hopefully someone would share the correct information with me. And, I've learned a lot through y'all's comments, so I appreciate those. Your opinions are just as important. Anyways, though, if you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button. It lets me know that you liked it, and it also helps me a lot. And if... yeah, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, etc. Check out my links in my description for my Smug Mug and my Redbubble. Also, follow me on Twitter if you want. I do post updates there and share pictures occasionally. I haven't been so good at that lately. Sorry. Anyways, I appreciate y'all listening. Thank you. You have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. This has been the Kilauea Eruption and Leilani Estates update for August 6th, 2018.